AT&T 5G pregame showcase inside SoFi Stadium. TCU, the first Big 12 team to make it to this stage. Of course, the SEC has dominated these playoff championship games 13-3 against all other conferences. 70,000 split down the middle between purple and red tonight. PA announcer John Magrino now.
Think about the work you've done to get this opportunity. There ain't no doubt in my mind this team is ready.
Okay, let's go! Let's play with our heart today. Play for the man that's left and right of you.
We love for everyone to continue to doubt us.
We're not a one-hit wonder. Georgia was built to sustain.
Y'all been asking for it.
It's the time when you go out and make sure your name's remembered.
We're not just happy being here. We want to win the whole thing.
Like, this is it. It's the national championship.
For 60 minutes, play fast, play physical, do your job.
Yeah, let's go!
Of the players' passion, John Williams' beautiful composition. Certainly have us ready up here in the booth.
Oh my gosh.
Kirby Smart knows how tough it is to repeat. Back-to-back champions, John, just 3 times since 1990. Most recently at Alabama, where he was defensive coordinator. Quentin Johnston leading TCU out. They fear no team. Georgia swaggers in as the biggest favorite. Championship game in recent decades. Almost 2 touchdowns. Second straight westward road trip for the guys from Fort Worth. Trying to shock the world tonight. Georgia with Chris Smith, and these guys have been there before. Will that be a factor tonight?
Matthew Stafford, LT walking the captains out.
Stafford, of course, won a championship here. LT's nephew plays in this game tonight. Jeff Heiser of the ACC refereeing his first national championship game. And let's go down to Jeff for the coin toss.
Welcome to the College Football Playoff National Championship. Captains, congratulations on a successful season. My name is Jeff Heiser. This is Jim Eckel. We're of the Atlantic Coast Conference. The commemorative coin today, the trophy is the heads. SoFi Stadium is tails. TCU, you will make the call. Tails is the call. Tails is the call. It is a heads.
We defer and kicking it to the locker room.
Georgia's won the toss. They've elected to defer. Do you want to bring out a switch hands?
Elvin Smith, the injured captain, doing the honors there. Great to have Holly Rowe and Molly McGrath keeping us informed from the sidelines. Here's Molly with Sonny Dykes. So Jack Podlesny will boot it away. A guy who didn't watch football growing up. He's not living his dream tonight. He was a baseball guy, but he's on a big stage, and he'll send it away. All this subplots, all the amazing stories of all these players, the unlikely journeys, defying odds, and they all collide on this stage with a trophy and a title at stake. Sit back and enjoy the Dogs of the Horned Frogs. Darius Davis, deep for TCU. A very dangerous returner, whether it's a punt or a kickoff. They kick it to him, and Davis will leave it in the end zone. And here comes Max Duggan.
Backers.
They only rushed 3. Duggan with a long pitch and a diving attempt by Davis, but it bounces on the carpet, and that early penalty messed him up. It's a 3 and out. Empty backfield. Bennett steps up, fires across the middle, and it's Brock Bowers with an early catch. And the tight end inside the 35 before Mark Perry got him down.
What plays early in that opening drive against Michigan, then squeezed and forced the
keeper, Bennett, gets a block. Georgia draws first blood. Ninth rushing touchdown for the quarterback. Play clock at 5. Duggan faked it to DiMercado, and he's swarmed behind the line. Smile Munden, the linebacker, all over him. Frogs could use a break. It's Davis in motion. He's got it on the jet sweep. Darius Davis blazing fast, lost the ball. It's on the ground. A scrum right near the TCU bench. Georgia says they've got it, and they do. So Bullard just got flagged with the takeaway. Max Duggan's already bleeding over there, and TCU's on the ropes early.
Twisting him right now.
Bowers made a cut, and some Horned Frogs were on roller skates there. Couldn't change with him. Bennett on the move, delivers high. That's Ladd McConkey going up and making the grab. And the veteran wide receiver who's regaining his health makes the catch in front of Bud Clark. They're in the red zone. Break it up. It's good to see him out there. On 3rd and 7. Bennett flips it short. Catch made, but tackled immediately is Edwards. That's a good play. Mark Perry makes the tackle, and TCU does force the field goal attempt from 24. So Georgia gets the fumble recovery, kept out of the end zone, but builds a 10-0 lead midway first quarter. First series meeting, Frankie Sinkwich, Heisman Trophy winner, doing the jump passes, Kirk. 40-26 in 3 meetings since then, all won by Georgia. Second down against the 3-man rush, launching downfield. Darius Davis is wide open, has to wait in the throw, but weaves his way down inside the 15. It's a coverage bust and a big play desperately needed.
Sometimes Quentin Johnston, as an NFL first-round type of guy, you think so much about him getting the ball. A little simple switch release at the line of scrimmage took both Georgia defenders to the middle of the field, and it opened it up to the outside to Barber.
6th season of football, his 5th at TCU, began as a junior college player. 3rd and 1. That's Johnston in motion. Duggan with the keeper, scores! A touchdown run for each quarterback. And TCU fights back. Nice drive. Defense. Some things to figure out here in the early going. McConkey on the edge gets some blocks, and Ladd McConkey looks like he's got some of that explosive ability back. It's an 11-yard gain.
And a staple of a Todd Monken offense is get the screen game going, and that tunnel screen to McConkey where he's able to get behind the convoy. Those offensive linemen is very difficult to defend because you try to get upfield, you're trying to get pressure, and they get the ball out quickly like that, and he gets behind the lineman there. You're right, he looks fresh. He looks a lot different than he has in recent weeks.
It's amazing what you can do when the knee pain goes away. By far the most targeted receiver in this offense. McIntosh running to the right, bounces off a tackle, and another big game. This Georgia ground game is churning early.
Remember early in the game, there was a lot of misdirection. It was going back the other way. If anything, it's planted a seed on the linebackers to slow them down, and then Monken can go back to what his bread and butter is, which is running the football and being able to get those offensive linemen out on the edge on that pin and pull and letting him run downhill with much pressure at all when he does drop back to throw.
With the play action, Bennett looks down the middle. McConkey's wide open. Touchdown, Dogs. "37-yard strike." Another clever play design and masterful execution so far by the Dogs. Appears to be struggling at the moment. Keep an eye on that. Duggan looking to throw. Pressure on first down, and they get him. It was a good coverage sack, but finally, Mykel Williams, the true freshman, has become the best pass rusher on this defense. Gets home.
Gets to him.
Two-back look. Corey Wren, Monty battle with their first action, and they flip it in the flat. And that's Wren, a seldom used running back who may need to step up tonight. Stopped by Lassiter. It's third down. And very long again. So Bennett and the Bulldogs offense on fire. 17 points in the first quarter. And TCU trying to play catch up here.
Two new tackles, new positions for them.
Four-man rush on 3rd and 17. Davis has the catch, but not enough yardage. He's into Georgia territory before Chris Smith got him down, and it's 4th down. Fake it to McIntosh. Bennett on the move, looking to create over the middle, and checks it down to Bowers, who makes his 3rd catch. It is knocked down at the 20 by Hodges Tomlinson. Bennett has all kinds of time. Launches for Bowers again, who makes the catch in TCU territory. He's being used early and often tonight, and that makes Georgia fans happy.
Well, they're going to try to hit the seams here. Try to get in the middle of the field.
McIntosh is split wide to the right. Bowers off to the left of the formation in the slot.
Well, the ball better come out quickly in an empty set.
Snap it at 2. He's immediately pressured. Winters chasing Bennett, 13 versus 13, but the quarterback wins that battle and dives for a first down to the 33.
And this is the you kind of roll the dice.
Defensive front. McIntosh around the corner, barrels down, another first down. First and goal for Georgia.
They left themselves open on the edge of the defense.
5. Bennett keeping all the way and just sauntering into the end zone. His 2nd rushing touchdown, and Georgia throwing haymakers and building a big lead now.
Yeah, man to man.
Comfortable fighting from behind, but it feels pretty uncomfortable at the moment. Defense can't get a stop, and so Duggan's going to feel the pressure every possession, Kirk, to do something. Held the ball for a long time and then takes it forward for a couple yards.
3rd down.
Normally he lines up on the left almost every time. Duggan sidesteps the rush, launches downfield. Johnson, the intended receiver, but it's picked off. Javon Bullard patrolling the deep middle of the field, and it's the 2nd takeaway for the Dogs defense.
I think Jamon Dumas-Johnson creates this interception because we just showed you where Johnston was, and he was wide open. The pressure here comes, but here on the post, it looks to me like it's wide open. You got a safety kind of hiding here, but if he has time to throw, just throw it to the middle of the field on a line. Free release off the line of scrimmage, everything you would want on 3rd down, but because of the pressure with that blitzing linebacker, Dumas-Johnson, I think it may have affected the eyes and the vision downfield of Max Duggan.
TCU backs off, rushes 3, plays coverage. Bennett down the middle, catch made. Bowers. Doesn't matter how many guys you put in coverage, they can't cover him or tackle him easily down to the 12. Halftime. Milton, no problem. Georgia overpowering TCU.
Position there to make a nice play.
Duggan swarmed and knocked down. Georgia relentless on both sides. Bear Alexander, a true freshman, joining the party.
Well, they brought pressure on the outside, but boy, Jalen Carter in the middle. Watch the push right here. They bring pressure out here, but watch that big push, splitting that double team. The big fella known for how quick he can be and how dominant he can be, and that time able to split the double team, eating up those 2 offensive linemen and freeing up others to get home.
Duggan stands and delivers, but it's intercepted. made a mistake, and Javon Bullard has had a huge first half with takeaway number 3. And no, Georgia is not done in the first half.
By the way, Jalen Carter got pressure again. Bennett's thinking another touchdown right here.
Carter just threw aside one blocker and then got right past Ali, the center. And that's their worst defended route. Those routes down the seam in the middle. Bennett looking this time to the edge. Mitchell, one-handed catch for a touchdown. And the highlight reel continues. He beat an excellent corner in Josh Newton, but A.D. Mitchell, who didn't have a catch from week 3 until the semifinal game, comes up big again. Need to stop here in 3rd and 3, empty backfield. Bennett over the middle, and it's broken up. Tried to get it into Mitchell, and reaching to make the play was Hodges Tomlinson. And the Horned Frogs don't look now, have a 3 and out.
Tonight, even when they don't get to him, they're getting him get rid of the football a little bit faster than he's ready.
Just enough pressure. Let's see if there's a flag there. No, wrapping around Johnson was good coverage, as it turns out, by Tyke Smith. And here comes the TCU punt team. Exclude the kneel down after the missed field goal. Bennett still got it, looking to throw in first down, flips it to Bowers. This is where we began, and Bowers pours it on, weaves his way deep into TCU territory, finally wrestled down. 6th catch of the night for the big fella from Napa. TCU fans hoping that it will create some kind of a turnaround here, but that's reaching a bit. Ball to the end zone, Bowers, touchdown! And Bennett continues to dazzle. And Brock Bowers showing that he is one of the elite athletes in this sport.
Right. No doubt.
Duggan pressured again on the run. Hasn't really been able to get loose and hurt Georgia as a scrambler tonight. Makes positive yards and does move the sticks that time.
Girth, quickness.
Duggan scrambling again, flips it out, incomplete. That was DeMercado in the neighborhood, and that is Michael Williams, the freshman who knocked him down. 502 yards against Michigan. They ran it and threw it. Overmatched tonight. Duggan hammered, collected the snap, and collided with Big Bear Alexander. The true freshman has made 2 big plays tonight.
They're in, the structure they're in. I could easily see a Stetson Bennett in that kind of system being effective because he distributes the ball and he's intelligent.
And 3rd and 8, right down the seam, and there's Big O, Darnell Washington, joining the tight end party tonight down to the 11-yard line. Heisman finalist as well this season, the first in 30 years for Georgia. Bennett once more goes to the end zone. McConkey with another touchdown catch. Not done dominating yet. They've hit half 100 now.
Oh, that's his guy, McConkey. Had him in the inside, able to get him matched up one-on-one. And honestly, Bradford, who was in coverage, I don't know if he didn't think the ball was coming. It kind of looked like he gave up on the play towards the end.
If you want to give Stetson a curtain call. Duggan, happy feet. Can he escape? Still alive for now, looking to make a play. And will throw all the way back across the field, but it's over the head of Davis. It's been that kind of night for Max Duggan. Great effort, but not a result. For Georgia, they've already done a lot tonight. Alexander and Williams. Slant, Davis has some space. Darius Davis made a cut and then stumbled forward inside the Georgia 45.
Yeah, they went right after the blitz.
They hope to tonight, but they're going to be a factor in their conference in years to come. And therefore in the playoff when it expands. Duggan around the end dives out of bounds.
You know, sometimes you get in these games and the Big 12 and the Pac-12, you think about this playoff era, a lot of times they've been criticized about whether or not they deserve a chance. Oklahoma's had a few chances over the past, and when they've gotten in, it hasn't always gone that well. And now you get TCU, and right now they're down 52-7. So sometimes you're not just representing yourself. It creates a narrative out there, right? For the SEC is so much powerful, and look what's happening to TCU in the Big 12.
A quarter to go here in LA. Check out now a new trailer for Marvel Studios' Ant-Man and the Wasp. Early stages of the second quarter. Duggan on 3rd and long, flips it short. DeMarcado's hit behind the line immediately by Kamari Lassiter, and his 4th down and long.
Lassiter's played a great game. I mean, he's been tight in coverage. He's played with an edge tonight, coming up, being physical in support against the run. Short throw, he comes up, makes a good play there. You can just feel his energy. I bet he's been challenged after the way the Ohio State game went last week. He and Ringo both.
If I told you that Quentin Johnston Kirk would have 1 catch for 3 yards, would you have believed me?
No.
3 quarters.
No way.
Lassiter deserves a good bit of the credit for that. Obviously, rose to the matchup here tonight, but it's been a team effort for the Dogs, including pressuring Duggan to try to make something happen on 4th and 11. Pressured again as he throws very nearly his 3rd pick. It was Smith throw off target because he just couldn't get his feet set. TCU just not built the same way, and Georgia continues to stack recruiting classes on top of each other. They don't use the portal. They don't have to.
It's a Stetson Bennett curtain call here.
Here we go. Bennett caps a career that began with no scholarship offer at Georgia. He'll leave with a legacy unlike anybody else at this school. 2-time national championship quarterback. No doubt most outstanding player in his 4th playoff game. Not even he could have dreamt this. Well, the rain is coming in from one end. It's insult to injury. It's only raining on the TCU folks in that upper section. But what a moment moments ago before the break as Stetson Bennett capped his Georgia career with a curtain call. So emotional after the semifinal win over Ohio State. So nervous watching that final Ohio State drive, seeing Stroud in the offense coming up a little bit short. Kirby calling that timeout, saying, stay there, just give me 13.
13, come here, that's it.
And Bennett, who left everything on the field. He was so exhausted he couldn't get out of bed after that Ohio State win. Leaves a lot on the tank, and they're bowing with their cell phones from ringside to the rafters. 5 decks of Georgia fans off to our left, celebrating this quarterback.
What a story. One of the all-time stories, man.
Sure is.
Disney's got to do a movie on that.
Beck now spelling him. Keeps the beat going to Kearis Jackson. I mean, listen, if he came in as a 5-star, it'd be a story of incredible achievement. But the way that his career began, the detour that he took, and never believing when everybody, including the coaches, told him, you're not good enough, you're not our guy.
Honestly, man, I think the only people that believed in him besides himself were his parents and his family. I think that's where he was as a walk-on when he left to a junior college and came back. And even then when he came back for 2 years, it wasn't like he came back and all is well. He battled for 2 more years to try to earn that respect and just never stopped, never quit. And to have what he's achieved is incredible.
Juwan Mathis struggled as a starter. He got his chance. He came in, but then JT Daniels had to get hurt to give him a chance.
That's right. You and I opened the season at 21 with Clemson and Georgia in Charlotte, and JT Daniels was the guy. Everybody was because of the way he ended the year in 2020, the last 3 or 4 games. Everybody was excited. He was a Heisman frontrunner, JT Daniels. And Bennett just kind of kept waiting for his opportunity. And
they're showing him on the screen, and Georgia fans are continuing to shower him with love. He grew a lot as a person. His college career has taken forever. He's 25 years old, and he talked about growing up, trying to turn some of that anger and frustration and bitterness, dark times into personal growth, and I think he has. He'll always carry that chip with him. I think it'll always be a part of him, Kirk. But he's grown a lot.
Yeah, he should never lose that. I mean, that's part of what makes him who he is. And to be able to maintain that through the compliments is tough to do. You know, Carson Beck, who's in for him, we touched on him. I know he is really well-respected quarterback who came in with a lot of accolades. I know he works out with a couple guys I knew down in Jacksonville. Will Hewlett and Denny Thompson both work on these quarterbacks and continue to help with their mechanics. He has tremendous ability and will be probably the guy next year.
Played in 6 games this season. Loops the ball downfield and only had a couple of attempts and one completion since mid-October, so he hasn't played much down the stretch. Folks in Blackshear like to say, hey, we believe from the start. That was their rallying cry a year ago when he won his first championship. That got a slant. That's a good-looking throw to Dylan Bell, a true freshman.
There's that arm. There are a lot of Georgia fans that are excited about, again, what Beck will be able to do in this offense. But tonight, of course, again, is about 13.
His whole journey and all he's achieved, he said this is the first year where you felt comfortable, like, hey, I'm not going to get pulled if I make a mistake. Imagine going through all that, even as you're on the way to the championship.
That position, looking over your shoulder. They lost to Alabama and Atlanta in the SEC title. People wanted him out before the Michigan game.
Remember that. Enough inside, and there's that good-looking freshman, Branson Robinson. He's still running, by the way, dragging people into the end zone. Actually, they're going to spot him just short. Not quite a touchdown, but shows you the strength that you were just admiring.
Oh, my gosh, is this guy beautiful. You know, these guys come in and you think, okay, it's the backups, no problem. Wrong. These guys are swinging as hard, if not harder, than the starters.
He's got it again, and this time will not be denied. They haven't signaled yet. He's got to be falling in the end zone. It is finally a touchdown. So Branson Robinson, freshman from Mississippi, gets in the scorebook of a championship game. Prolonged celebration continues.
Watch this, the run, not the touchdown, but the play before. It looks like he's down, but this gives you an idea of what he can do. The leg drive, the desire, the want to be able to carry people, tries to get him into the end zone, came up just short, and then finishes it off the next play for the touchdown.
Dogs go over 200 rushing yards and now 539 total yards. Yeah, it was a show of strength from the start.
Hi, I'm Vince Dooley. For over 100 years, the University of Georgia has enjoyed one of the nation's top football traditions.
The game is over. Georgia has won.
What I want to do is go hug my players.
Winning a national championship brings a tremendous amount of pride in any place, any city. It was a great moment.
A gentleman, decency, dignity, as the confetti fell with Vince Dooley and Kirby Smart. Vince seeming to tell him, I told you this is possible. And that was the championship, the first one since Vince's national championship in 1980. Kirby continues to spend some timeouts for curtain calls here. Who's he calling over here? Oh boy, he's got some of the veterans here. Chris Smith, Keely Ringo. These are the guys who have used up eligibility or are expected to move on. Jalen Carter. Take a bow. Curtain calls continue in LA. We'll take a break on both sides. 9:20 to play. DeMercado's just had a tough night from the start. The TCU ground game has really been stopped behind the line, off in the backfield, invaded. Georgia backups continue to play with intensity here.
Off the ball linebackers with their blitz.
4 true freshmen in the field at the moment for Georgia's defense, and they continue to get after the veteran quarterback and drop him behind the line. That's Tyke Smith. Sack number 4 and 6. Georgia brings pressure again, and down goes Duggan. That's true freshman Jalen Walker. Aggression from the first play, and it hasn't let up. At TCU, hung in. Quarterback of some not very good teams. Took over this team, and let's go to Branson Robinson one more time, and the freshman just scoots in. And Georgia, it's the 60 mark.
Great job on that left side. Again, when they put their backups in, they don't slow down. I mean, the execution's not going to change. They're not going to work the clock. Watch the left side, combo block, climb to the linebacker. He's met in the hole by the nose guard, Williams, and he just kind of stutters his step and gets to the end zone. Little stutter step, creates that hesitation, and then for a big guy, he can accelerate. It's the AT&T pylon, 5G pylon cam.
Georgia's relentlessness, and that's a missed PAT. Wow, that is definitely a news flash. And Lesney hasn't done that. I don't think he's done it in his life.
At SMU and Arkansas, and his son, I think, another guy who's a son of a football coach, knows what to do with that football, and they have high hopes for him next year.
TCU will open their season at home against Coach Prime. Rare for a top 5 matchup in the history of the sport to get out of hand like this. Off the right side, Savon Clark, and the beat goes on as the backups continue to make plays. Holly?
I just think, Chris, it's another brick in that foundation of that narrative that other conferences can't compete with the big spending and the big brands of the SEC and the Big Ten. The Pac-12 and the Big 12, even before all this started, the realignment again, they were already dealing with that. And then you see the results of this, and you can just imagine that being spewed all around, that TCU and the Big 12 shouldn't even be, in a game like this. Hey, they earned it. They got here, but then they play it 65-7.
Well, Georgia and the SEC and the Deep South will win another championship. The SEC is going to go to 14-3 in the playoff against other conferences, to your point. Some of those wins in very dominant fashion. And they will just take a knee.
Kirby just got the bucket. Remember last year they won it in Indy, and he was like off to recruiting. I was like, man, if you win this, you're gonna enjoy this. Oh, we got the roster to get ready. Oh, they missed him. It looks like he's enjoying this one. Back to back, man. You do not see this in college football. 11-12 with Alabama. Got to go way back. You could throw in USC technically, I guess, 03 and 04. Nebraska in the mid-90s. Just doesn't happen. It's hard to keep a team motivated in back-to-back years. Now they'll go for the trifecta next year.
And they'll be the favorites, we're told. When Saban's team did it back-to-back, neither team went undefeated. And Georgia backs up the 14-1, the one loss to Bama, which they, of course, avenged, with a 15-0. And this feels different than last year. They had to finally conquer the Crimson Tide. But the Georgia Bulldogs bludgeoned their way to back-to-back. Glory, glory, Georgia, as the fight song says. Leaving no doubt. That's been the mantra. They made it real tonight. Respect for these two Warrior quarterbacks, Heisman finalists. Belongs to Stetson Bennett, who leaves a legacy very few will be able to match. Back-to-back championships, no doubt the most outstanding player for a 4th time in a CFP game. Throws for 304 and 4 touchdowns, runs for a couple touchdowns. Ali?
Emphatic, dominant championship performance in the modern era of college football, and once again, the Georgia Bulldogs are national champions. We offer our congratulations to TCU on a terrific season, but now to present the national championship trophy, here is the executive director of the College Football Playoff, Mr. Bill Hancock.
Thank you, Reese. I'm here on behalf of the conferences and institutions that manage the College Football Playoff, and it's my honor to present the national championship trophy once again to Coach Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs.
Kirby, what a spectacular performance. You talked about aggression. You talked about leaving no doubt. Now that you've accomplished back-to-back championships, how do you describe the legacy that this team leaves?
This Bulldog Nation leaves a legacy for coming all the way out to Cali and representing our home university and our state. These kids have been unbelievable all year. People have doubted them since the start of the year, and the staff, the organization, everybody's done a tremendous job.
When you think about what it took to keep the focus going and the difficulty, which you know better than anyone else, how difficult it is to repeat, what quality did this team show that allowed them to do that?
A lot of grit, a lot of toughness, but the word we use around our place is connection. Every one of our guys know we stay connected, we're hard to beat.
You're hard to beat tonight. That was as good a championship performance as we've seen in any sport in a long time, and perhaps ever. Kirby, congratulations. And I guess the way things are going the last couple of years, we'll see you in Houston next year.
Go Dogs.
He's not going to bite on that one just yet. And if the theme of the night is repeat, the players of the game both repeating from the semifinals. For the second straight year, the offensive MVP of the national championship game is Stetson Bennett. Stetson, you accounted for 6 touchdowns. That matches Joe Burrow, college football playoff record. And we talked a lot about this story that you've been on and writing the ending near Hollywood. How would you describe the way you authored the ending to your Georgia career?
That's a hell of a question. I don't know. We had I think Monk said he was going to retire after tonight because that was a hell of a game plan. I don't think I got touched all night. I ran in 2 touchdowns. Anybody could have done that. Unbelievable team performance. 7 points. Hell of a job by the defense. I love this team. I love those fans. I love our band. I love everybody. Back to back, baby. Back to back.
For so long, you used that chip on your shoulder, and now you're getting these accolades. How did you envision this in your mind as opposed to how this is played out on not only this stage, but the one last year?
Oh, yeah, I didn't dream this, man. I was just trying to do my job, and we ended up here, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, yeah.
Mailman delivered again. Stetson, congratulations. Stetson Bennett, offensive MVP. And just as he did in the semifinal, Javon Bullard is the defensive player of the game. Javon? Three turnovers in the first half. You guys were able to put this game away. How would you describe the aggression with which the defense played?
I just want to thank God first and this coaching staff, man. They put together a great plan, and we just executed it to the fullest, man. I couldn't be proud of a team.
Go get healthy. Enjoy this national championship, man. Congratulations. And as they say in Athens Town, Chris, friends, it's time once again to let the big dog eat. And they flat ate tonight. Georgia national champions.
Yeah, they made a meal of TCU. You're right about that. Bullard and Bennett, 2 natives of Georgia, the MOPs on both sides of the ball. Victory cigars will continue to be smoked. The party unfolding, the victory bell ringing. Ugga 10 watching, or maybe he's gone to bed by now.
Nah, he shut it down by now, but this is all about Georgia. Great to hear Stetson Bennett one last time up on that stage, victorious. This thing ended, his story ended his way, and this Georgia team ended this night their way. Back-to-back champions and dominating fashion. It was fun.
You know what's even harder than going back-to-back, Kirk? Back-to-back, which has never been done in the polls.
Oh, there it is.
Never been done since 1936. So there's the next challenge.
There's the next motivation. Nobody thinks you can do it.
Well, not the competitive game, Kirk, we hope to see, but we saw something we may never see again. Heck of a way to wrap up our 27th season.
Yes, sir.
Heck of a ride, brother. Now, for Kirk, and Holly, and Molly, and Bill Bonnell, and Derek Mobley, everybody in our crew worked so hard to bring you college football all season long. We're grateful for that opportunity. Grateful for you folks. Good night from LA. Sports Center and Scott Van Pelt.